The Disappearance of Lars Mittank, Germany's creepiest airport vanishing. It was supposed to be a vacation, just a short trip from Bulgaria to Germany, a chance to unwind after a long work week. But for Lars Mittank, a quiet 31-year-old German IT technician from the small town of Thuringia, that trip became the last chapter of his life, and one of the most baffling disappearances in modern history. He vanished at an airport. No struggle, no note, no trace. Just gone. Welcome to the disappearance of Lars Mittank, Germany's creepiest airport vanishing. Black and white photo of Lars, smiling, glasses, slightly messy hair, standing beside a car. Text overlay. Lars Mittank, born 1984, last seen July 10, 2014, age 30. He planned to spend 10 days soaking up the sun, drinking local beer, and maybe meeting someone new. Friends described him as friendly but reserved. Quiet, a little odd maybe, but harmless. He didn't drink much, didn't party, preferred books over bars. He was the kind of guy who'd text you a link to a documentary about UFOs and then just wait for your reply. But something changed during that trip. Then quick cuts, a hotel room, a selfie of Lars outside a cafe, holding a beer bottle with a smile that looks off. On July 9th, Lars checked into the hotel's sunny beach. He posted a photo on Facebook, a blurry shot of himself with a drink, captioned, "Varna is amazing, nothing unusual." But by the next morning, things started to spiral. At around 11:30 a.m., Lars called his sister Anja. He sounded panicked. "I don't know what's happening," he whispered. "People are staring at me. I think they're following me." Anja asked if he was okay. He said yes, but then added, "I think I'm being watched." She told him to come home. He agreed. He packed his bags, checked out of the hotel, bought a one-way ticket back to Berlin via Sofia, Bulgaria, a connecting flight through the small Sofia airport. That was the last time anyone heard from him alive. Grainy CCTV footage flickers on screen. A man walking quickly through Sofia Airport's departure hall. It's Lars. He's wearing the same clothes. His eyes dart side to side. He clutches his backpack like it might vanish too. On July 10, 2014, at 1:45 p.m., Lars arrived at Sofia Airport. He checked in for his 4:05 p.m. flight to Berlin. Security cameras show him walking calmly through the terminal. He buys a bottle of water. He sits down near gate 27. He checks his phone. He glances around. And then he stands up. At 2:37 a.m. Yes, a.m., not p.m. Lars walks away from the gate. Not toward his plane. Not toward the bathroom. Not toward the exit. He walks out of the security zone, through the automatic doors, into the public area, and then he disappears. Silence for 3 seconds. Then a sudden burst of audio. A distorted voice recording, barely audible, played backward, then forward. Distorted voice. "They're not real, but they see me." Cut to interview clip with Bulgarian police officer, subtitled in German accented English. "Officer, every inch of the airport. We reviewed every camera. We interviewed every employee, every passenger. There was no sign of struggle. No one saw him leave with another person. No luggage left behind. He had his passport, his phone, his wallet. On July 10th, his phone was never used again. No calls, no texts, no location ping, no Wi-Fi connection. It was as if he'd stepped into another dimension." Sofia Airport, Berlin. Red line ends abruptly at the edge of the airport perimeter. What happened next? For 4 days, authorities scoured Sofia Airport. They combed nearby parking lots, dumpsters, bushes, even the sewage tunnels beneath the building. Nothing. Then on July 14th, 5 days after his disappearance, a hiker found something. A single sneaker, sitting on the side of a remote forest road, 6 kilometers from the airport. It was Lars's right shoe, size 43, Nike Air Max, white, with a faint red stripe, and inside, a sock, wet, smelling of sweat. No other shoe, no backpack, no body, just one shoe. Slow zoom on the shoe, then cut to a forensic lab technician examining it under a microscope. Forensic analysis confirmed the shoe contained soil unique to the area near the airport. DNA matched Lars. No signs of violence, no drag marks, no blood. It looked like he'd taken it off, on purpose, and walked away. Nighttime. A lone figure in a white t-shirt walks barefoot through tall grass. Behind him, shadows move. Not people, not animals, just movement, flickering, like heat haze. Why? That's the question that haunts investigators. There were no known enemies, no debts, No mental health history, no recent breakups, no suicidal ideation. In fact, friends say he was looking forward to returning home. So why walk into the woods barefoot in July, in Bulgaria? And why did he leave his entire life behind? Cut to interviews with strangers on the street. Random people asked, if you vanished without a trace, would you want to? Most shrug. One woman says, maybe I'd want to escape. Another, I'd leave a note. But Lars didn't. Here's where it gets truly chilling. Wind howling, distant radio static, a child giggling, then cutting off. 2 weeks after Lars disappeared, a man calling himself Alex contacted the German media. He claimed to have met Lars in a bar in Sofia 2 hours before he vanished. He was terrified, Alex said. He kept saying, they're here, they're watching. He wouldn't tell me who they were, but he kept looking over his shoulder every few seconds. Alex said Lars mentioned a strange incident earlier that day. He'd been sitting at a beachside cafe when a group of men in dark suits approached him. They didn't speak, just stared, for nearly 10 minutes, then they left. Lars said he felt like they knew him, like they'd been waiting. Alex tried to calm him down, offered to buy him a drink. Lars refused. I need to get out of here, he whispered, before they find me again. That was the last time Alex saw him. Allegedly, a photo of the men in suits, taken from a surveillance camera outside a cafe in Varna. 3 figures, dark clothing, no faces visible. One is holding a tablet. Timestamp, 11:10 a.m. July 10th. Was this real, or was it the delusion of a man unraveling? Because here's the twist. Some experts believe Lars suffered a psychotic episode, perhaps triggered by stress, sleep deprivation, or even a rare neurological condition like Capgras syndrome, where a person believes their loved ones have been replaced by imposters. But there's no evidence he'd ever shown signs of psychosis before, and yet the details are too specific, too consistent. He wasn't paranoid about aliens. He wasn't talking about government conspiracies. He was afraid of people. People who weren't there. People who were. German reporters interviewing Lars's parents. Mother teary-eyed. He was always so careful, so logical. He never took risks. He never wandered off. He was the type to check the weather before leaving the house. So to just walk into the woods, alone, barefoot, that's not him. Father, we've spent years wondering, did he run, or was he taken? 2 paths diverge, one labeled psychotic break, the other something else. Let's examine the facts. Lars had no history of mental illness. He was clean, employed, financially stable. He had no reason to flee. He left everything behind, including his return ticket, which was paid for in cash. His phone was turned off, but not destroyed. His shoes were left neatly beside a trail, not scattered, not torn. No fingerprints on the shoe, no footprints leading to or from it. No surveillance footage of him leaving the airport grounds, because the cameras stopped at the perimeter. And here's the most disturbing part. 3 months after Lars vanished, a woman in Germany received a postcard. No return address, just a single sentence, written in shaky handwriting. I didn't run, I was chosen. The postmark, Sofia, Bulgaria. The date, July 12, 2014, 2 days after he vanished. The ink looks fresh, too fresh. Authorities investigated. The postal system confirmed it was mailed from a kiosk near the airport, but no one saw who sent it. No witnesses, no camera, just a card, and a message that defies logic. I was chosen. Chosen by whom? By what? A figure in white walks along a highway at night, head bowed, bare feet. Behind him, the silhouette of a large van idles. The windows are tinted. The license plate is blurred. The van doesn't move. It just waits. This is where conspiracy theories bloom. Some say Lars was targeted by a secret organization, perhaps connected to human trafficking, or worse, state-sponsored experiments. Others claim he witnessed something he shouldn't have, a drug drop, a covert operation, a military transport disguised as a civilian flight. One theory gained traction online, that Lars stumbled upon a portal. Yes, a portal. A Reddit thread titled Lars Mittank, the man who walked through reality, went viral in 2017. Users pointed out that the airport's architecture, its circular layout, its glass domes, resembled ancient geometric patterns associated with dimensional rifts in folklore. They cited the timing, July 10th, the anniversary of the Tunguska event in 1908. They noted that Lars's final words, "They're watching," mirrored accounts from other missing persons cases worldwide. Is this madness, or is it the only explanation that fits? Elena Volkov, psychologist specializing in dissociative disorders, speaking in a studio. Dr. Volkov, there is precedent. People under extreme psychological duress can experience foggy states, complete amnesia, identity loss, spontaneous travel, but this case, it doesn't fit. He didn't forget who he was. He remembered perfectly. He was terrified. He chose to leave, and he left behind everything he owned, not because he wanted to disappear, but because he believed staying meant death. Airport at dawn. Empty. Silent. A lone maintenance worker sweeps the tarmac. The search ended in January 2015. No body, no evidence, no leads. The case was officially closed, but not forgotten. Every year, on July 10th, fans gather near the airport's old baggage claim entrance. They leave candles, a single Nike sneaker, a note. Sometimes the notes read, "We remember you, Lars. Wherever you are, we hope you're safe. Are you still watching us?" Nighttime. The airport terminal. One security camera, blinking slowly. The timestamp reads, 2:37 a.m., July 10th, 2014. The last frame shows Lars, frozen mid-step, halfway out the door, 1 foot in the airport, 1 foot in the unknown, and behind him, just beyond the glass, a shadow, long, tall, standing perfectly still, watching, waiting. Then, a whisper, from nowhere, from everywhere. If you see him, don't speak, don't approach, just look away. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos.